Good. Okay, so today what I wanted to talk really about was understanding the body, the mind, and the soul, and how we can treat this with our fractal acupuncture knowledge and music. And so fundamentally, in the body is regarded as 3 dimensions. In the mind is regarded as 6 dimensions, and the soul is regarded as 9 dimensions and greater. So the 3, 6, 9. So effectively, it all starts with in the body with the freeze, flight, and fight reaction, which is that sympathetic response to avert danger and survive the moment. And during that moment, you either create a negative or a positive thought process, and essentially that's associated with the 3 energy systems, such that in the freeze or the yin system, we have the thoughts of, in the negative, I am not worthy, and in the positive, I am worthy. And so in the fight system, it's the inhibitory system, which is then associated with I am not lovable, I am lovable. And in the yang system or the flight system, the mind is associated with I can't do this and I can do this. Okay, so essentially what happens, so when a situation arises, let's just take a pretty mundane example, like your computer doesn't work, for example, because you're trying to do something, for example, fill in a tax return or something. And so this is something personal that was happening to me today. So this is how I can qualify that. Obviously, because it happens to me, it definitely will be happening to you. So the soul, so we've gone the body in the 3, the mind in the 6, but the soul actually is also in, because the universe is in 6 dimensions, the universe that we can perceive. So there is a universe beyond those 6 dimensions, which we as human beings can't perceive, and that's just simply because we've grown to perceive life as it is. Like, for example, I can only see red, blue, and green, and I don't have eyes to see ultraviolet, which some animals in the sea do definitely have that ability. So that's just an understanding. So that animal can perceive things that I can't. So in our body, again associated to those 3 systems, the first level of soul being is at the first level, which is really about security and reproduction, sex. Okay. The second level is about the alpha male and alpha female, and the omega male and the omega female. So just for simplicity, an alpha male has a male, and an omega male has a male and a female. So, and the same that goes for the alpha female and alpha omega females. And then the third dimension is all about the thinking man, Homo sapiens, which is the Latin for thinking man. And as much as man mostly thinks about himself, quite a selfish person, really. And then once we get past the third, we're looking in the 4th dimension, which is beyond the body, essentially. And this is about an expanse and living, and more than the body. And the fifth dimension is back down in the heart area. And this is your energy takes on like the flat Mayan type pyramids with a little top of the pyramid up top above. And this is that little top of that pyramid has a little eye in it, and that's kind of like the overlord. So for things like religion, government organizations over you, or you know, political or professional organizations lording over you as a being, okay? And then the sixth dimension, which is your body is in a total pyramid shape, and that eye of focus is now come into your heart, okay? And that really is the place where we all trying to get, is to try and get into that sixth dimension of the soul. But as I said, there are more dimensions, but we just don't perceive them. So perhaps other people can, but I certainly can't. So what I'm trying to say is that when we have any illness, it really will affect us essentially like a reflex action. So your body will go into the freeze, fight, flight response, and your mind associated with that will come. And usually it's like one channel in the body and one channel in the mind is associated with that response, okay? And then associated with that is your soul getting blocked at one of those 6 levels. So let's take, for example, this thing about doing acts and stuff like that. So it affected me physically on the body, in the mind, in the liver channel, in the mind. It was affecting me also in the liver channel. In the soul, it was affecting me on the large intestine, because I'm a large intestine soul kind of person, but it was affecting me at the 5th level because of the overload of the overlord of sort of like control there. And so here is the importance. So obviously we can put a needle, we can play music for the liver, and we can sort it out. But it will just be a temporary sense until such time as that you're exposed to it again, and then it'll just bang, come back again. So you can do that in the body, and you can do that in the mind, and you can treat the soul at the large intestine level. For me, that was one. But here's the thing. All of these things are essentially just symptomatic treatment, because at the end of it, at the end of all of this, perhaps in that quieter moment, you really have to intend to react differently when that situation arises again. And really, there is no acupuncture or music to change the intention of how you're going to react. And this is really important, because this comes in from a sort of like a multiverse type of situation. So with that intention, your body, mind, and soul can react in this way, or with a slightly different intention, it can react in this way, or a slightly different, it can react in another, and then you've got sort of like a multiverse of potential outcomes. And the question here is, what you focus on is going to be your outcome. Now, I mean, often would think, okay, so what about allergies and things like? And I think this is really fundamentally the reason why treatments for allergies are don't hold for a very long time, simply because we try to treat them at the physical level, we try to treat them at the mental level, and we try to treat them at the soul level. And fundamentally, when you do all of that, you still the person has got to create the intention to react in a different way, because fundamentally there's perhaps something that's not been addressed. For example, fear. or grief. And so it is that, and you know, it's fine that we can patch things up and make you feel better, but ultimately what we really need you to do is to intend to react in a different way. So for example, taking my tax type thing is to intend, for me, it is important to intend myself to react in a different way, such that next year when tax comes around, that I don't have that kind of reflex reaction when that overlording kind of tax thing imposes on me, because clearly this is going to be happening multiple times throughout my life. So, and you know, and obviously, you know, you do want to fix things. I mean, if so, it would be far better if we could change, you know, intend our reactions to be different, and we change it. And so a lot of people would say to me, well, we'll just say this. And I don't believe a lot of people actually follow through with things. So I do believe that you need to write down this intention, and you need to learn the intention as like a mantra, and until it becomes ingrained in you, such that, you know, whenever times life throws its wobble, that mantra already just gets into you, so that you become this other person that you're trying to be. So that's what I think is really important. We need to treat the body, the mind, and the soul, and we need to do them all at the same time, but then bearing in mind that we must create the intention so that we don't react that way in the future. So that's what I'm really trying to say with this video. Just get that information and try and work out what it is, how you react in your body, how you react in your mind, where that's affecting you in your soul. And it's all down to the freeze flight reaction in your body, and then you get a negative or a positive reaction in your mind. And then that's also then associated with your soul. Your soul may be blockaging in those areas. So and really you need to become sensitive enough to actually be able to read that. Obviously, if you're not, then you can come and have a consultation, and I can find that out for you, and then you learn that information and then make adjustments from there. Obviously, so we can do that either through just simple physical consultations or online type consultations. We can do that. Okay, so this is all available to you. Okay, thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.